"Take down that gate, or you'll hear from the board." That's exactly what Karen yelled at me one crisp Thursday morning, as I was just trying to enjoy my coffee and gaze at the fog rolling over the water. Picture this. You're on land your granddad pieced together with hardware that's outlasted most folks around here, and suddenly it's accused of cutting off neighborhood paths. None of it sat right. Forms thrust under my nose, sneaky pics taken after dark, murmurs about rules nobody signed up for. It was like eyes were on me everywhere. Drop a comment below. What would have been your move if they targeted your fence? It's 8:30 on a Thursday, and as a firefighter tech, I'm clutching the most absurd document I've laid eyes on. Notice of design infraction. Gate setup hinders waterfront pathway guidelines. Fancy letterhead, a bunch of board stamps, legalese thick enough to bury a judge. But what really twists the knife? Those hinges are rusted iron with etched letters that have hung there longer than most of these busybodies have called this place home. I take a pull from my mug, eyeing fresh deer prints fading into the damp woods. Fog lifts from Willow Lake between the pines. Just like clockwork every day for 3 decades. Just like when Grandpa raised this place back in the 60s. Now, Karen Ellis, head of the Neighborhood Pathways and Gatherings Group, is schooling me that my family's stake doesn't count because of some fresh, waterfront stroll plan that reeks of last-minute invention. "Dave, trust me, this isn't aimed at you," Karen says, fiddling with her neon orange safety jacket that pegs her as a misplaced traffic warden. She's got a hefty notepad and stacks of supplier flyers. The Willow Lake Neighborhood Path Project demands we meet fresh access rules. That gate of yours is in the way of shared routes to the water. She waves at my plain timber barrier like it's a castle barricade, not just a humble line keeping wanderers from private dirt. I prop myself on the old cedar beam Grandpa drove in ages ago, fingers tracing the rain-smoothed ridges. Design violation? Karen, this thing's guarded the path since Grandpa nailed it up. Slapping waterfront access on it doesn't trump years of sturdy beams and creaky latches. What gives you the pull over spots like this that were here first? She fishes out promo packs from Path Pro experts, shiny leaflets with shots of sleek walkway setups and ramps that clash hard with our woodsy vibe. "We've teamed up with pros to hit the latest waterfront rules," she says, fanning them out on her SUV's bumper like a poker hand. "These tweaks will lift the whole area, giving everyone secure, open paths to Willow Lake." I leaf through, spotting costs that'd dizzy a village council. Path fixes, ramps, rule following, pro setup fees. The totals stack up, and I can't help but ponder who's slicing the fattest cut from this deal. "So run this by me again. You expect me to yank Grandpa's gate so folks can tromp across my yard to a lake with its own public dock down at Bayside?" "Dave, we're not pushing for a cut-through on your land," Karen clarifies, though her voice has that well-rehearsed edge. "We're enforcing design codes to keep shared waterfront paths clear of unapproved barriers. The board's ruled your setup breaks those." "Codes?" She jabs at the promo stuff on barrier. Takedowns for quick response paths. Sounds vital till you clock that rescue crews never hit these back. Paths for water ops. I slide the leaflets back, watching her pile them like sacred scrolls. "All right, Karen? I need hard evidence these path rules even touch old builds like mine. And hey, when did the association snag say-so over lots that beat it to the punch by 2 decades? My brew's gone sharp, and the chill dawn breeze sharpens my head, zeroing in on sense over this bold-faced nerve. She glances at her cell, tugs at her vest, gearing up to bolt. "You've got 2 weeks to sort this before peak season. The board'll keep tabs tight." As she heads to her ride, she tosses over her shoulder. "Dave, I truly hope you weigh what's good for all of us. This push will boost home worth and open the water to every neighbor." The stress on every neighbor paints me as the lone wolf for fending off uninvited boots on kin dirt. I track her taillights fading, then size up the gate anew. Rock-solid frame, boards faded to match the trees, fittings that have toughed out storms without a whimper, a setup built to shoo nosy trekkers but nod through pals and pros. Yet per Karen and her supplier pals, it's morphed into a public hazard needing a 2-week overhaul. That night, porch light on, I'm poring over the infraction slip when something catches my eye. Stirrings by the gate. Not wildlife this round. Flashlight beam, and someone snapping shots, rigging what seems like response gear to fake a blockage vibe. If this is truly for safety and water reach, why the midnight setup, like paparazzi at a felony? Odd doings by the gate that night. Pics with gear posed to scream obstruction. But who's cooking these scenes lakeside? Friday dawns with a gut punch. Emails from a few locals forwarding neighborhood feed blasts starring my barrier front and center. Images got response tools dumped around like a war zone. Tags wailing about cabin fence jams rescue boat paths and trail block stalls water saves. What irks? The Polish on these frames. Full dramatic glow. Props placed for max drama. Gear that sure wasn't lurking last eve. I scrutinized the shots close. Lead post. Gate with life-save stuff heaped near, implying crews can't hit the water 'cause of my edge. But hold up. Response teams always roll the Bayside dock lane. Those late-night fakes gloss right over it. And locals know the sheriff's boats hit from the asphalt launch, not skinny thickets. The file stamps spill beans. Snaps from 11 p.m. to midnight, sinking my weird spotting. Location tags pin it to my turf, sans invite. Gear layout, boats, strobes, hurdles, screams someone versed in shots and spin ran this show. I ring the sheriff's dispatch on this block beef. The voice sounds flat out baffled. Folks, we've run lake pulls from Bayside Dock 15+ years. Zero snags on reach here. I sketch the pics. She says the stagers ought to loop their own squad. Backed by the nod, I fire off replies to the feeds. These are cooked. Response has dock access at Bayside. My path never gummed a thing. Sheriff's confirmed. Saves use marked public lanes, not owner woods. I tack on squad lines for checks, plus splits of the fake versus true route shots. But the rot's fanning. Fretted locals ping those setups quicker than my fixes land. Replies swing from safety jitters to blasts, I'm choking lifesavers. What if a kid goes under 'cause teams can't dash? Frets one panic post. Owner perks can't trump group safety, blasts another, even though my elder's fence never shadowed a save. I log the fallout. Neighbor takes, shot spots, Coords. The Bayside lane's broad, sealed, rescue ready. It feeds straight to the deploy zone for boats. My path's a tight wood snake, but the buzz has folks in a froth, hollering about drown risks sans crew passage. Worst? Watching old-timers who ought to savvy better swallow this whipped-up mess. One vet shares the fakes, musing, "Gotta back our guardians." Another chimes, "Owners owe the group, too." These are folks I've shot the breeze with years, buying dusk shots like gospel crisis briefs. By dusk, I've dropped fact checks across feeds, squad deets, real path proofs. A few locals dig the truth, exhaling easy, no crisis looms. Others? Locked into the yarn my fence spells danger. Facts be damned. What gnaws deepest? How swift this spin flipped the crowd against my stake. That night, my cell hums. An unknown ping. "Mr. Ellis, Path Pro experts here on your compliance doc shortfall. Our rep needs a slot for critical structure check. Reply in 24 hours to dodge ramp-up." The drop hits post-fake pics and feed storm. Feels like a tag team squeeze, cranking official heat. Path Pro blasts urgent note on dock fails, flagging rep probe, hinting pro bully moves inbound. Monday midday knocks the dread right to my door. A guy in crisp shirt and slacks, pad ready, IDs as the licensed structure fixer from Path Pro experts. He's got that slick poise of a vet at spooking owners with buzzwords and forms, but it rings scripted, not sharp. "Mr. Ellis, here for the required structure eval on Willow Lake Legacy Zone rules," he booms, fanning papers over my deck rail. "Your barrier setup breaks legacy upkeep codes. We gotta chat quick fixes to skip rogue build fines." The fine stress vibes this less chat, more doom decree, ruling preset. I scan his creds while he preps. Badge gleams legit-ish, but print date's fishy fresh for a legacy proclaim. Legacy zone? News to me, my spot's tagged historic. Grandpa threw this up in the 60s, pre any keep rules. He hauls a fat dossier on legacy codes for lake lots, jargon jungle, nods to upkeep norms, fines for rule breakers like yankouts and wallet hits. The tag rolled out lately to shield the lake's old soul, he pushes, dodging my gaze as my cell cams the bit. But wait, legacy rules guard what's there, not scrap for new ramps. Grandpa's Barrier's pure 60s backwoods build, prime for any real tag's hug. So you're saying my true 60s setup bucks legacy codes but slick paths slide? I step away, supposedly for brew, really to ping state creds board. Half hour in, bingo. Badge lapsed 3 years back. No fresh stamps. Juicier. Cash trails show fat recent wires from Path Pro to this guy's owner nudge gigs. Back out, he's clicking my barrier, jotting on off-rule fittings. I angle my phone to stream live. His riffs skim deep. Might snow casuals, but thin on tech meat. His pushes mirror Path Pro's upsell, not true keep logic. Stream chat lights with snickers. Ever ponder legacy keeps? I ease in, confidence up. Real bits get hugged, not bulldozed for shiny tweaks. I flash Grandpa's build shots from his stash, permits, county okay from the 60s, propped for the stream so locals peep, his shifts instant. Boss man melts to fidgety hedges, words tiptoeing like he's off his turf. Well, legacy rules get tricky. Sometimes old bits tweak to fit now norms, he floats. Sounds more bail than brief. I draw county archive pulls. Solid word. No Willow Lake legacy zone mandates evals. Any true tagged cradle stands like Grandpa's barrier over new path pushes. Odd, huh? County blanks on your legacy zone. Now he's scooping gear hasty, vibe all wrong. Mr. Ellis, gotta loop bosses on your spots rules. Brace for follow-up on moves. As he dips, a canned caution. I'd urge playing ball with the eval to skip big enforcer steps. That eve, I'm knee-deep in proofs this consult was bunk. Dead creds, ghost zone, cash ties, twixt fixer and upsell crew. The threads sharpening. Kicked with bogus design slap overreach. Then fake shots, feed frenzy. Now pro scare with sham badges. Deputy Hayes eyes the condocs. Dave, you've sniffed pro scam, but gear up. Next'll twist board gears likely. Wedam drops an email souring my Joe. United board push. Full lot scan for Willow Lake group norms. 3 panels sinking to tackle rogue cabin spots and water block. Wild how my elder's barrier sparked a crisis, yanking triple oversight. The yard crew, water watch, and paths group synced sits to craft joint nudge rules for legacy lot fits. Minutes scream rush polls on slim heads up iffy counts. Shadier. All 3 land same urgent fix calls and crew ties. Sans real split thinks. I crash the next yard sit to decode the sync. Karen parks front, though no yard seat, steering chat to design fits. My barrier as how one choice dings group look. But the sync rub? Each crew's solo, yet echo same calls, same crew plugs. Yard tags visual match needs. Water watch rules edges gumshore plans. Paths wraps old bits, crimp flow boosts. In open mic, I lay facts, mini recorder out. Triple crews lack pull on my ilk. Sync don't birth fresh law. Some chairs twitch at the mic, clocking the log as fresh info drops they skipped. Post set, I corner lone chairs on their calls. Most cop Karen fed 'em just slick flyers and panic lines, no law meet. Karen framed it as crews hold wide sway for group norms. One spills. That's the core con. Fed fluff over facts, thinking they guard pals while votes float on air. Thurs I dig crew rules, unearthing fat bylaw breaks. Rush polls sans heads up. Counts fudged on low turns. Key. Sync sans board eye. Faking fat backing for oversteps. The crack? Purported board nod for sync. Sept blanks on inks. Karen's waved fake logs to fake rule, way past set plays. Fry mail hauls the climb. Full lot scan board sit. Lock call on Willow Lake group fits. All leads pitch to board for stamp on nudge steps for rogue lots. Rush tag for next twos. Thin alert, but off not. Ink styles wobble. Clashes old board slate. I buzz ASOC hub for sit deets. Clerk's lost. Mr. Ellis, no full scan on the board sheet. Sam Riley's probe nails it. Dave, those board inks? Fakes. Board nixed, no scan, no sync, no rush nudges. Karen's run rogue with cooked pull all along. The gut sync lands cold. She spun sham docs to back plays board blanked. Karen books full scan board sit with leads. Like a Hail Mary mob fake via crowd. If boots were yours, how'd you write the ship sends shredding pal bonds? One line, go. Sat morn has me trekking wood lanes twixt cabins, pack of game changers for our tucked spot. Ditching board beef and fake pull, I'm zeroing on core. Schooling locals how legacy shields lift all stakes, not lone mine. Dawn breeze hauls pine tang and water whiff. Nodding why we picked this off-grid haven. Kin roots and lot freedom still pack punch. First pit. Vet cabin, duo rooted since 70s dawn. Figured this might touch your setup too, I kick off, fanning county pulls on their counter. Chat outs how thin most savvy their guards. Hal and Sue figured ASOC join meant blank check rule over tweaks. Dave, never clocked our first build shields from back rule hits, Sue owns, dabbing damp. Karen spun it like all lots shoulder same rule load, build date blind. By lunch, 6 cabins in, same thread. Folks who backed crew nudges ran half news on their own guards. Mrs. Hale frets her plot if she bucks. The Lee clan thought shields hit builds, not edges. Each yarn outs how Spinweb wove worry, fear plain. The flip lands at a quiet cabin crew logging their own crew creep beefs. We eyed a shed back, but Karen said any add-on pulls, full now rules, even legacy lots, Mia spills. Claimed crew had board stamp to nudge fits on any tweak, date def. Then Sam Riley rings with shift all. Dave cracked those board inks for sync. Fake, sure, but bigger. She spun fake board pull months, not just your fence flap. Tons nudge plays, crew nods, sync pushes, all rogue start. The con scale stuns, hitting rule far past my beef. Sun PM, I huddle locals on Sam's Hall when the wave crashes. One crew got deck slap on fake board pull. Another squeezed on tree yanks via cooked rush say. Even chairs clock they voted oversteps, blind to the con. This ain't Dave's fence now, Hal notes. If Karen faked board stamps and crew pull, every nudge drops legally dead. But the shock? Once facts on legacy shields and board rule hit, backs turn sharp. They ain't anti-my stake. They ran fogged on law truth. Guarding your elder's cabin means guarding all kin roots in our wood patch, Sue adds. Moneve packs the huddle I pulled, 15 cabin crews cram Hal's den, sifting fake stamps, cooked crew pull, Spinweb hitting tons lots. Vibes grave but grit. As lone feels linked to fat rule rig. Twos board sit locks if we fix systemic or soft pedal the mess, I framed to the pack that night. My line jumps, sheriff's ping. Mr. Ellis, Deputy Hayes. Got flags on ink fakes and rogue rule in your ASOC. State ASOC Watch wants us to probe CrimeCon on cooked board stamps. Got docs on the rule breaks you've nabbed? Rush board sit post fake find. Karen eyes boot, but will board back deep dig or hush the spot? Two's Eve rush board sit fills the hub's big room. More locals than any ASOC dust-up I've clocked. Buzz on rule breaks flew, yanking rare sitters to grok how leads got bent. Air's thick but tuned, like a berg call ungraphed. Board head bangs gavel, drag in his drag, owning grave flags on crew runs and board stamp plays. Here to sift rule beefs and pick right steps on process flags, he eases, dodging con straight, hoping to box as infight. Not the rig it is, I'm lead bat. Doc Sam and I stack to tight pitch. Past my cabin, this is rule abuse hitting our full wood patch. I roll proofs, fake board stamps, cooked crew pull, rogue crew ties months deep. Logged con-proof slams tons crews, bruise fat law heat for us. Proofs crush, feed fakes with bunk save claims. Dead pro scare on owners, crew pull twists sans stamp. Faked board inks for false nudge, green rogue hits. One chair gapes real at ink match on screen. I blanked crew sync for legacy nudges. That's no my script. Others hunch, side eyes as sheets glow, clocking blind tie to rogue as crowd sucks air. Tons crews flash nudge hits on fake pull. Slap sends board, okay? Crew packs on cooked stamps. Sync sends true eye. Every crew needs the hit. Rogue plays on false board stamp brew, big law heat. Sam lays. One flashes deck slapdocks on fake board. Another spills squeeze on yard shifts via cooked rush. Deputy Hayes rolls mid-pitch, hauling county probe and state watch sheaf. Chairs probing crime con on rule plays. State watch flags. Hold all logs on crew runs, crew pacts. Nudges past half year. The badge drops a fat sheaf table ward, flipping in beef to crime dig with real law teeth. Board boxed, can't back blanked plays, but heat for cons in their tag. We gotta own systemic rule con bruise law bear for our full outfit. Head Chen cops, last direct on crime. Board votes tonight on quick steps to hit breaks, and full team with law dig. Karen's mum whole pitch, back row quiet as proof stack. Chen pulls her take. She crosses arms, tweaks specs, then, grabbing law help, no words tonight. Board stamps full. Boot Karen all crew seats now, nix all rogue nudges. Mandate law notes to hit owners on bunk plays. Plus tap fresh law to tackle con heat. Full law team, county sheriff and state assassin watch flagboard. Probing crime con and rule breaks. True pull locked in. Weak post board, I'm by grandpa's barrier, as county checkers screw a brass legacy shield to the upright. Dawn fog climbs Willow Lake daily for ages, but tonight shifts. Wraps a scrap from plain lot beef to full win for true rule and kin keep. The twist bites. Karen's gate grab bid birthed lock shields for every legacy cabin in our wood. County archive lead rolls with seals making it iron. Mr. Ellis, your elder's cabin and bits now lock legacy tag. Barriers pure 60s wild build. Shielded from back rule hits. She slides cert setting lead for every pre-build lot here. Nixing future crew creep on kin roots or first tweaks. State ASOC watch lead hauls reform word for wild ASOC rule. Fresh rules flagboard check all crew sync. Ink true for nudges. Must school on legacy lot shields. Deputy Hayes caps with crime close. Karen Ellis nabbed on fat counts. Ink fakes, bunk dock spins. Plot for rule con. Plus owes law notes to all hit owners. Big patch service on ASOC rule teach. The hits flash clear. Spin rigs. Pack law bite past plain beefs. The real kick? How our patch bounced. Crews squeezed by rogue nudges now shielded by same legacy guards as mine. Chairs blind in rogue? Schooled to block future twists. What kicked as fence hits now kin root shield for all. Karen's gate grab turned all root guard. One vet muses at our Joe round. My barrier boost nods win in school. Holds 60s soul with teach tags on legacy lot shields. Willow Lake kin lot. Law locked. Tags trail view. Schooling trekkers on landline respect while toasting our true cabin past. The barrier Karen craved. Gone's now kin keep icon and true stake nod eco. Check nods, cabin paths, pre-eco rules. Hold legacy from now hits. What floors? How full the flip? Karen's fat nudge web birthed lock shields nixing future crew creep. Sham fixer scare? Locked legacy tag hugging first builds. Faked save claims? Logged nod private paths blanked save plans. Feed spin? Patch school on real stakes and rule plays. The year Willow Lake kin day hits prime fall dawn. Gold rays weave trees. Water mirrors, leaf blaze. 20 cabin crews packed to toast, pre-build past, and root shields holding our true vibe from push floods. Kids grok grand twist builds. Grown-ups dig law guards holding kin stakes for tomorrows. Grandpa's barrier stars kin teach with boards on first cabin crafts and legacy shields. This barrier nods what we prize. Kin root respect. Stake guards. True wood life tying us to turf and tail. I lay to the pack. Sunset here. Dear ghost to water sip. I ease a held breath. Post all. Barrier stands, we stand. Tougher, sager. Bit wary of paper waivers as arms. Maybe core take. Pull on lies crumbles when light floods enough. If you hung, comment what you'd tweak in my play. Smash like, sub if these yarns hook. Loved deep? Tap that thanks.low. Keep keen, crew. That's the wrap from Trailside Tales. Sub up, bells on.